It's all said and done. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They go play action here. Mon.
They'll roll him out right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Here's Mon.
Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, the ultimate result was an incomplete pass. They sure look like a well-coached team because once he got outside of the pocket, the scramble rules come into effect. And a lot of the guys who ran deep routes, they come back closer to the line of scrimmage. And the running back usually runs a check down. He took it deep, and they gave it a big shot and came up unsuccessful.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After hitting the field goal, now Sloman handling the kickoff duties.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 16. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
big tight end here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one. 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A carry here for Hunt. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
This defense for the Vikings, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it. And often
touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
At the 25-yard line, the Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 on the run. They need a lot more than that coming up here on 3rd down.
Fields now to throw.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short. It's 4th down.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 17-0 our score after one. On second down, it's Cook again. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return, and the Bears take over.
Their own 16-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Not much there, only a yard.
These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And it's going to be incomplete. He's able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And here's Joseph Charlton now,
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.